Was a cold December evening. The sun had set and the stars were beginning to twinkle. Dr. Harriet, the vet, was returning home. As he approached his house, he heard a squeal of brakes. A car stopped and he saw an arm waving out at him. Dr. Harriet stopped and a young man jumped out from the car and ran towards him. In a breathless, panic-stricken voice, he asked, "Are you the vet?" "Yes, I am," said Dr. Harriet. "Oh, thank God," he whispered. "Please help us." "What's the matter?" asked Dr. Harriet. "It's our dog in the back seat of the car. He has got a ball stuck in his throat. I think he might be dead." In a second, the vet was out of his car. Rushing to the young man's car, he could hear the wailing or crying of little children. They were crying, "Oh, Benny, Benny, Benny." The vet quickly opened the door. It could dimly see a large dog spread over the knees of 3 small children. "Oh, doctor, he's dead, he's dead." "Let's have him out," the vet said urgently. The young man and the vet picked up the dog and gently put him down on the road. It was then that he saw the dog was a huge one. He was upset that the dog's mouth was open. His tongue was hanging out and his eyes staring lifelessly at nothing. He wasn't breathing. The vet could hear all of them crying. "What did you see about a ball?" the vet asked the young man. "It's in his throat." The vet pushed his hand into the dog's mouth. He could feel a ball there. It was jammed like a cork in a bottle, blocking the dog's windpipe. The poor dog couldn't breathe. The ball was wet. The vet couldn't take the ball out as his fingers slipped on the wet ball. He withdrew his hand, put his thumb behind the dog's lower jaw and pushed. The ball shot forth, bounced on the frosty road and rolled out to the pavement. But Benny didn't move. His eyes did not open. The vet touched Benny's body and felt a very little flutter in his chest. "His heart is still beating," he said, as he pressed hard on the chest every 3 seconds, hoping the dog would breathe. After about 3 minutes, Dr. Harriet noticed the slight movement of an eyelid and the small lift of his ribs, pulling the icy air into his lungs. Soon his breathing became regular. After a minute or two, Benny staggered to his feet. 4 voices welcomed Benny joyfully, crying out his name, "Benny, oh Benny." That was the vet's greatest reward. So, my dear children, I hope you saw that Dr. Harriet was not only a good doctor, but he was a very humble and kind-hearted person. Dr. Harriet ने पूरी कोशिश की और बेनी के थ्रोट से उस बॉल को बाहर निकाला। और जब बच्चों ने ज़ोर से बेनी का नाम खुशी से चिल्लाया, डॉक्टर हेरोइट ये मानते थे कि वही उनका ग्रेटेस्ट रिवॉर्ड था। थैंक यू।